Everyone wants to believe they are intelligent. But what if I told you intelligence is not just about IQ or how much you know? It is about how you make decisions every day, how you treat people, and whether your choices lead to real growth or keep you stuck. Some people seem naturally wise. They make smart decisions, avoid unnecessary struggles, and continue to grow. Others, no matter how much they know, seem stuck in cycles of frustration and poor choices. What separates them is not luck. It is not even natural intelligence. It is the habits they practice every day. The truth is, truly intelligent people avoid certain behaviors that quietly sabotage success. They recognize that some habits drain their potential, hold them back, and prevent them from reaching their full capability. The problem is that most people do not even realize they are doing these things. That is why today we are uncovering 6 hidden signs that intelligent people avoid at all costs. These are the behaviors that keep people from learning, growing, and making better decisions. Recognizing these signs is not about feeling bad. It is about self-awareness and improvement. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. Your support helps spread these valuable life lessons to more people who need them. If you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss any new videos. Also, if you find this video helpful, comment number 1 below. If you do not like it, comment number 0 to let me know how I can improve future videos. Before we dive in, think about this. When was the last time you sat in complete silence with no distractions? If you cannot remember, you might be falling into this first hidden habit. Sign 1: the need to always be entertained. Smart people know that constant distraction prevents deep thinking. Many people today cannot sit in silence. They always need something to fill their time: music, social media, TV shows, or endless scrolling on their phones. They mistake entertainment for fulfillment, but in reality, they are just avoiding being alone with their thoughts. Sarah could not stand silence. Whether she was commuting, eating, or even lying in bed at night, she had to be watching something, listening to music, or scrolling on her phone. It was not until a close friend asked her, "What truly makes you happy?" that she realized she had no idea. She had spent so much time consuming other people's lives that she had lost touch with her own. She had spent so much time consuming content that she had never taken the time to reflect on her own purpose. This is what happens when we overconsume entertainment. We lose self-awareness. We never stop to ask the big questions. What do I truly want? Am I on the right path? What should I be improving? Without silence, there is no space for these thoughts to grow. Intelligent people understand this. They are not against entertainment, but they know when to disconnect. They take time for quiet reflection. This is where real creativity, problem solving, and personal growth happen. If you find yourself constantly needing distractions, take a moment to pause. Spend time in silence. Let your mind think freely. That is how true wisdom develops. Sign 2: reacting instead of thinking. Smart people do not let their emotions control their actions. They understand that reacting impulsively often leads to regret. A foolish person, on the other hand, responds immediately without thinking, allowing emotions to dictate their decisions. Take Jake, for example. He was quick to anger and often got into unnecessary arguments. If someone criticized his work, he snapped back without considering whether the feedback was useful. If a stranger online disagreed with him, he wasted hours arguing in the comments section. Over time, his short temper created problems at work and in his personal relationships. His boss viewed him as difficult to work with. His friends avoided deep conversations with him, fearing his defensive attitude. Why does this happen? Because reacting quickly feels powerful in the moment, but it is actually a weakness in disguise. It shows a lack of control. Intelligent people do the opposite. They pause before responding. They consider the situation logically instead of emotionally. They ask themselves, what is the right response here? What outcome do I want? If you find yourself reacting emotionally in stressful situations, take a deep breath. Wait before you respond. Give yourself time to think. The smartest people understand that wisdom is not in reacting. It is in choosing the right response. Sign 3: seeking validation over truth. Intelligent people seek truth, even when it is uncomfortable. A foolish person, however, prioritizes being liked over being honest. They shape their opinions based on what others want to hear, rather than what they truly believe. Take Emily, for example. She was well liked by her friends and co-workers, but not because she was respected for her honesty. She was afraid of confrontation, so she always agreed with whatever the majority believed. When her boss made a bad decision, she stayed silent. When her friends spread misinformation, she nodded along. Over time, she realized she had no real opinions of her own. She was not thinking for herself, she was just trying to fit in. And why does this happen? Because it is easier to seek approval than to stand alone. Many people would rather be accepted than be right, but the cost of this is high. If you live for validation, you never develop true confidence. You will always need others to approve of you. Intelligent people choose a different path. They stand by their beliefs even when it is unpopular. They seek truth over comfort. If you catch yourself holding back your real thoughts just to please others, ask yourself, am I being true to myself? Because wisdom is not about fitting in, it is about thinking for yourself. Sign 4: confusing knowledge for wisdom. Intelligent people understand that knowing facts is not the same as knowing how to use them. A foolish person assumes that having information automatically makes them wise. But true wisdom comes from applying knowledge, not just collecting it. Take Daniel, for example. He was well read and could quote books, statistics, and historical facts effortlessly. He prided himself on knowing more than most people. But despite all this knowledge, his personal life was a mess. He made impulsive decisions, failed to manage his finances, and struggled with relationships. He believed that being informed made him superior, but in reality he lacked the wisdom to apply what he knew. Why does this happen? Because intelligence can create the illusion of wisdom. People assume that just because they understand something in theory, they know how to handle it in practice. But knowledge without action is useless. Reading about healthy habits will not make you fit. Understanding financial strategies will not make you wealthy. Knowing psychology will not automatically improve your relationships. Intelligent people recognize this. They do not just learn, they apply what they learn. They focus on action, not just theory. If you spend more time consuming information than practicing what you know, ask yourself, am I truly growing, or am I just collecting knowledge? Because wisdom is not about knowing the path. It is about walking it. Sign 5: avoiding hard conversations. Intelligent people face problems directly. They understand that difficult conversations, while uncomfortable, are necessary for growth and strong relationships. A foolish person, on the other hand, avoids these conversations out of fear, hoping that problems will disappear on their own. Take Mark, for example. He had a close friend who was struggling with destructive habits. Mark noticed the warning signs: missed work days, poor decisions, and declining health. But instead of addressing the issue, he stayed silent. He told himself that it was not his place to interfere. Months later, when his friend hit rock bottom, Mark regretted not speaking up sooner. He realized that avoiding the conversation had done more harm than good. Why does this happen? Because most people fear confrontation. They worry about hurting feelings, making someone upset, or creating tension. But avoiding hard conversations does not make problems go away. It only makes them worse. Unspoken issues build up over time, leading to resentment, misunderstandings, and broken relationships. Intelligent people take a different approach. They know that honesty, even when difficult, is the foundation of trust and respect. They choose short-term discomfort over long-term regret. If you often avoid difficult discussions, ask yourself, am I protecting someone's feelings, or am I just avoiding responsibility? Because wisdom means having the courage to say what needs to be said. Sign 6: being stubborn about the wrong things. Intelligent people know when to stand firm and when to adapt. A foolish person, however, refuses to change their views even when faced with clear evidence. They mistake stubbornness for strength, believing that admitting they were wrong is a sign of weakness. Take Linda, for example. She had strong opinions on how business should be done. Even when her company's outdated strategies stopped working, she refused to adjust. When colleagues presented new, data-backed approaches, she dismissed them. She insisted that her way was right because it had worked in the past. As a result, she missed opportunities, and her career stagnated while others moved forward. Why does this happen? Because admitting a mistake feels uncomfortable. Many people tie their beliefs to their identity. Changing their mind feels like losing a battle. But in reality, stubbornness does not make you strong. It keeps you stuck in old mistakes. Intelligent people understand that growth requires flexibility. They are not afraid to say, "I was wrong," because they value truth over pride. They adjust when new information proves them incorrect. They do not see change as a threat, but as an opportunity to improve. If you often resist changing your views, ask yourself, am I holding on to this belief because it is right, or just because I do not want to admit I was wrong? Because wisdom means knowing when to evolve. These 6 signs are not just about identifying foolish behavior in others. They are about recognizing these habits in ourselves. The truth is, we have all been guilty of at least one of these at some point in our lives. Maybe we have avoided difficult conversations, reacted impulsively, or held onto outdated beliefs because it was easier than admitting we were wrong. But here is the good news. Every single one of these behaviors can be changed. Intelligence is not something you are born with, it is something you build. The difference between a foolish person and a wise one is not about never making mistakes. It is about learning from them. If any of these signs felt familiar, that is not a bad thing. In fact, it means you are self-aware enough to change. The first step to wisdom is realizing where we fall short. So do not just watch this video and move on. Choose one habit to work on today. Growth starts with a single step. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking them. Growth does not happen overnight, but it starts with small choices. Choosing to pause before reacting. Choosing to listen instead of seeking validation. Choosing to face challenges rather than avoid them. So if this video made you think, I would appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe for more content on wisdom and self-improvement. If you found this helpful, comment number 1 below. If you did not, comment number 0 to let me know how I can improve future videos. Because in the end, foolishness is temporary, but wisdom is a choice.